Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. In today's video, I'm going to share some tips in terms of how you can maximize your bursary as a bursary holder. Over the last few years, I've noticed people, or especially students, are not maximizing or utilizing the full benefit that a bursary has to offer. Therefore, in this video, I'll share some tips, advice, insight, and my experience back when I was a bursary holder back in 2014, which was 10 years ago. Hopefully this will increase your work readiness and hopefully obtain a role when you're done with your studies. Therefore stay tuned and let's get into it. Number one is accommodation. Whenever a bursary tends to fund or sponsor accommodation, I always encourage students to take that opportunity or a particular benefit. Because not many people in South Africa are blessed to have electricity, uncapped Wi-Fi, rent being paid for them. So always take the option of accommodation. Because I see many people actually opt out of that particular benefit because they believe they want to rather stay at home, they're comfortable in terms of their schedules at home. I always say if you want to live on campus, you have the prospect in terms of your own time management, your own time schedules. You don't have to worry about commuting. You can wake up whenever you want to. All you need to focus on being at campus or living on private residence is that you just focus on your books. So the benefit of being on campus or living in a private residence, meaning its proximity in terms of all campus events, campus network sessions, and you have the library at your particular disposal, meaning you can study how late you want, and it would often be sports activities on campus or whether you live off campus. So the benefit of accommodation cancels out all of the unnecessary burdens that one need to have or one would have had if you were living at home, because being on campus also provides a peace of mind and a focus purely on your academic books. Number two is textbooks. Often bursaries tend to fund students either with cash value or a book card in terms of textbooks. So if a bursary often gives you a rand value in terms of textbook that you need to buy, I always opt for the PDF version. So the PDF version might always be less expensive. Also, you can pocket some of the book money which you can use either for a rainy day or emergency fund. If you do not get the rand value in terms of books, then they offer you a book voucher where you need to buy certain books at a certain bookstore. Then I would say buy the books and then you can sell those books if you're on second year to the fresh first year students that will be joining in a new academic year. Number three is meal allowances and stipends. Oftentimes you get bursaries only offer meal allowances, and they might either issue you with a voucher where you need to buy food at a certain residence or food store at campus, or you get bursaries that actually give you the cash value in terms of the stipends and the meal allowances. So in my example, the bursary I had with Nedbank, they offered me then the stipends with the meal allowances to the value of 3,800 Rand. So 800 Rand was my stipends and then 3,000 Rand was the meal allowances. So what I did, I saved my stipends every month into a savings account. So for the academic year, which is roughly 10 months, so I saved roughly 8,000 Rand. And then I used my meal allowances for my food, and then I had some left for leisure activities and leisure events. So in this example, I want you guys to always minimize your expenses and to try to see how long your meal allowances will take you. Now and then you want to buy KFC or McDonald's because you want to spoil yourself, but always save your stipends if you can and work with the meal allowances. In my example, I saved mine and I could buy myself a vehicle with the extra income I had, which I also had at the time, which I'll share with you in the next part of it. But overall, try to minimize your expenses and increase your savings because it will help you in the long end. Because when I bought myself the vehicle, I had prospects of jobs and roles, because most often in my field as an HR consultant or HR person, you need to have a reliable vehicle. And since I live 50 kilometers from the CBD, having a vehicle is very essential to commuting back and forth. Number four is extra income. So your meal allowances and your stipends covers the essential household expenses, so you don't need to worry much. How I could afford the vehicle, obviously you would be wondering how could 800 Rand or 8,000 Rand take me to a price of a second-hand vehicle, that I actually got an extra income. And the way I done that is by becoming a tutor for second years in my field of studies. So when I was doing my third year or honors, I'm not too sure, I was a tutor and I was earning roughly as a tutor 3,000 plus. So on average, to estimate how much I was earning as a student, I was earning 7,000 Rand with my stipends, meal allowances and tutoring income. So therefore, I could increase my saving, I think, up to 3.8 or 4,000 Rand I could put away, and then the other 3,000 or 2,000, I'm not sure the exact amount I used, but I could use for my meal allowances, living expenses and so forth. So it's always good that you find another source of income on campus while your essentials are being covered by the bursary. Therefore, this could obviously just increase your savings, and that particular money can be used once more to buy a vehicle or use for another course you wanna attend, or it could just be used overall for a rainy day fund. Number 5 is the benefits that the bursary tends to offer, which are career guidance, career coaching, and social support or counseling. Many people don't take that particular opportunities and benefits because they think they don't need it at the time. What I did, I took it a bit on too late, but I went for counseling to kind of get my mind ready for work readiness, to kind of build my resilience, to kind of get a foresight and an insight in terms of reality, in terms of the world of work. So always try to benefit or take on these benefits such as the career counseling or the career guidance, because in South Africa we don't have the luxury of just being qualified at a certain degree or qualification and then finding a job. It is quite difficult to find a job although you have the necessary qualifications. Therefore, building the relationship with your bursary and the career advisor or career coach will guide you exactly in terms of which field that you could apply for, which particular sectors, or either their particular networks that they can refer you to for employment. So always try to take on those extra benefits that the bursary offers, because it might be the lifeline that you would need, because not many people are so lucky. Because I've noticed many people do get bursaries, but they don't find employment afterwards, where there are many people, or few people, sorry, that have bursaries and then the bursary either offers them an employment, or they have networked with their career advisors or the network that they have established in order to find employment. Number 6 is building networks or relationships with other bursary students. In my example, I was with Nedbank, and then Nedbank used to flew us to Johannesburg, I think on a game farm, for a 2-day workshop which was called Work Readiness, and then they would obviously fly in all the other students around the country to join this particular 2-day event. And we could obviously stay, I think it was 2 days, 1 night. But in that particular regard, you build relationship with the other students in different universities, because oftentimes after your studies, you tend to add each other on LinkedIn. You can still share work opportunities, which other you can build that confidence and that expertise, because no man is an island. Therefore, it's difficult to grow on your own. So use other bursary students also to learn and engage and interact with them to see exactly what are their struggles, what are their strengths and accomplishments that you can also apply in your life. So it's always a good thing that you interact and engage with other bursary students, because it will lead to self-development and personal development overall. In conclusion, I'm hopeful that the 6 points I've mentioned and gave my experience and insight on is insightful and you can use it to your advantage. Therefore, thank you very much for watching this particular video. Please like, subscribe, and leave me any other comments in terms of what other topics I can use or discuss or share with you guys. Have a lovely day. Stay tuned.